Hey man, moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. I tried to think of a good little, you know what I mean, segue, but I
Segue.
couldn't. We just go move on, man. We go move on, man. We talking playoff basketball. We moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we got a red hot Pacers team against a New York Knicks team who just knocked off the defending champion Boston Celtics. So Joe, I gotta ask you. I'm very curious about your take on this series, man. I think this series, in all honesty, to me is just as exciting as the Western Conference series, man. I think this is going to be a fun series. Who do you have and how many games and why? Who comes out of the East and represents the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals this year?
Jalen Brunson, Troy Hanson,
You're done, son.
Pacers in 5. No, sorry, Pacers in 6. I messed up. Pacers in
It
6.
does.
Not 5.
I got you. I
On
got you.
6 to 5. That's OKC. Pacers in 6. I'm going with the Pacers, man. Like I said this on R2L, but like the Pacers. Have you ever played a game called Mafia before?
I've heard of it. Haven't played it.
So this is a quick. The Pacers are playing Mafia.
Mm.
So how you play Mafia is you get a group of people in the room, and then there's one narrator, right? And the narrator picks a killer. But everybody got to put their head down, close their eyes, whatever you want to do. And the narrator picks a killer, like, AJ, you the killer. Who you want to kill, AJ? I want to kill Joe. No, it's not real kill. I don't want to spell like this, but
Right.
I want Joe. And then everybody lift their head up, and then the narrator tells a story on how Joe is there now, and then the whole room has to guess who the killer is. And they can't, and the Indiana Pacers are playing Mafia, and they're not getting picked. They are literally good, and nobody realizes how good they are, and they are hiding in plain sight. Like they are hiding they're right in the middle of the crowd, and nobody can recognize them. Nobody sees this suspicious person right here. So I feel like they're not getting the respect they deserve. Like people are assuming New York's gonna win the series, and everybody keeps saying, "Oh, OG was hurt last year." Yo, the way the Knicks play, they go 6-7 deep. The way the Pacers
Facts.
play, they go 10 deep. The way the Pacers play also, once the ball, when you shoot the ball, New York, and the ball comes off the rim, they're taking that ball and they're running. If the ball goes through the net, guess what? They are taking the ball and they're running. On the other end, if the Pacers score, guess what happened? They are going to guard you full court man because they're constantly in rotation, 10 guys deep, sometimes 11, because they stay fresh. They stay fresh. Then they got, I believe, the best pure point guard in the NBA, which is Tyrese Halliburton. Because you look at his turnover ratio, best in the NBA. Turnover assist ratio, best in the NBA. He has plenty of games when he has double-digit assists with 0 turnover. That's unheard of on a consistent basis. So, and New York, I get they got. If you look at the talent wise, all that stuff, but Indiana, they're coached differently, man. So I'm going with Indiana in 6. I think Indiana's going to. And last thing I want to say about Indiana, they are not scared of New York at all. They already beat New York, and they got the chip. And with them beating New York already, they're the ones with the chip on their shoulder because people think it was a fraudulent win. So and then people already didn't believe in them in the cast, including me, against the Bucks, including me. And now they're going to say, man, I know they smiling from ear to ear. They're like, we got to play. Hold on, you telling me we ain't got to play Boston? We got to play New York? Oh, we going to the finals. Shout out to Harbaugh. We going to the ship. We going to the ship. What? That's Indiana right now. So I'm going with them in 6.
Give me the Knicks in 7.
Ooh.
Give me the Knicks in 7 games, Joe. Give me the Knicks in 7 games. You spoke on it, but you didn't really speak on it like that. Last year, these teams matched up. It went 7 games, and the Knicks was banged up as can be. Josh Hart hurt. OG Anunoby hamstring issue hurt. Mitchell Robinson played 1 game hurt. Brunson broke his hand in Game 7 hurt. Right. So let's start there. Like that series was a grueling series. Again, these two teams are different now, but a lot of the core pieces are the same pieces from last year. and the Knicks still pushed them to 7 games. So let's start there. I also think, given the fact that I would say the Cavs were the best defensive team that would play in the playoffs, right? Given the injuries that the Cavs had, I'm not sure if I can say that at this point. The Knicks got the 5th best defensive rating out of every team in the postseason. So I know some of that is skewed though, because Boston got a lot of open looks in that last series that they didn't knock down that I think the Pacers will probably hit. So I'll give you that. But I do think between OG, between Bridges, even Karl Anthony Towns, right? Josh Hart getting in the mix, they have shown their ability to get after you defensively. So I do think it'll be one of the tougher teams they play, if not the hardest team they've played healthy now in the postseason on the defensive side of the ball. Another thing I want to throw at you. Some people going to hear me on this. Some people going to say, get out of here. Karl Anthony Towns is going to have a series. I think Karl Anthony Towns is going to be the X factor. He going to have this. He going to have a series. It may get to the point where Karl Anthony Towns is pushing for Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I think that's the type of series he's going to have. Karl Anthony Towns, like I said about Anthony Edwards, he's been here. He's been here. And I'm calling him out. Last year, he froze up. He froze up. By the time he showed up against the Mavs, they was down 3-0. And then he showed up in game 4, had a big-time game, helped Anthony Edwards, got them a win, and was decent in game 6. Game 6 as well. But they didn't have enough to get it done. I think Karl Anthony Towns is due for a big series. I do like the defenders that they have for Cat, though. I'm not going to just ignore that. Miles Turner, Siakam, they got some guys for him, even some of the smaller guys, you know what I'm saying, that you could throw at him. I think that's going to be a thing as well, right? But I think Karl Anthony Towns, I think he's due for this moment, bro. Being from New York, right, having the history that he had with the Minnesota Timberwolves, getting traded to this location, having a playoff resume that he has, being kind of up and down, but now has the opportunity to get to the finals. I think he's going to shock some people. Like Carl in the comments saying, get out of here. I think Cat going to shock some people. And I'm just calling it. It's just, this isn't a, I got numbers, but this isn't a statistical thing. This isn't an analytical thing. Just my gut telling me Cat going to have a series. So I'm going to put it out there. I think he's going to have a series. And the last thing I want to throw at you. Last thing I want to throw at you is this. Crunch time. The Pacers are 5-0 in crunch time. 5-0 in crunch time. But the thing that bothered me about the Pacers' crunch time minutes and the crunch time moments that they had is 2 of the games that they won was fluky as I don't know what in this postseason. I get it. It's the playoffs. You win games how you win games. And one could say, hey, the Knicks, they was down 20 multiple times against Boston. They came back and got the win. I'm going to beat you to that rebuttal before you get there, Joe. Because we know what happened. And I know that's probably where you was going to go. I know 20-point leads aren't blown that often in the playoffs. But what I'm going to say is this. Milwaukee Bucks, 118 to 111 with 40 seconds left. And they blow the game with 3 straight turnovers, including one where Trent Jr. lets the ball literally go between, like literally catches the ball, lets it go out of bounds. But he was having a hell of a game, by the way, and just froze up at the end, turned the ball over 3 straight times. And the Pacers, being the Pacers, capitalized on the moment. That's crazy. Then you got the Cavs, game 2, 119 to 112 with 48 seconds left. They blow the game. Missed rebounds, missed shots, turnovers. Granted, you give the Pacers credit, but anytime a team has a 98% chance of winning the game, a 99% chance of winning the game analytically, the game's supposed to be won with 40 seconds left, 50 seconds left. You up 8 to 10 points, bro. That's 7 points, bro. That's just insane. They closed the Bucks out on that. And then me and you both knew, we was here, we did the show live. When they came back and beat the Pacers, or when they came back and beat the Cavs in game 2, I said the series is over. It's over with. There's no way the Cavs come back from that. That was the deciding game, in my opinion, in that series that I knew the Cavs was not going to go on the road and win both games at Indiana, because to Indiana's credit, it is a hard place to play. I don't believe that happens on the New York Knicks watch. Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year. Dog currently holds the record for the most fourth quarter points through the first 10 games of a single NBA postseason. 102 points in this year's playoffs. Ridiculous. Went up against a tough Pacers team. Went up against the defending champs. Whop, I'm going to close you out. Whop, you going to let me back in the game? You sure? Whop, I'm going to close you out. I believe in the New York Knicks. I think they will get to the NBA Finals this year. I got it in 7. I think it's going to be a tough series. No disrespect to the Pacers. I picked against them every time. I'm doing it again because the Knicks coming off of a series where they just took out the defending champions, the team we both had at some point winning the championship. Knocking them out, I think gives them the confidence that they need, and I think they go on, knock off the Pacers, and get to the NBA Finals.
I'm trying to. Okay, so here's the difference between the Celtics and the Pacers. The Celtics, which normally not who they are, they were by far the number 1 team in the NBA in the second round with isolation basketball, isolation plays. They were uncharacteristic. And on top of being uncharacteristic, they missed, I don't even know the percentage, it's crazy. So many wide open threes. That do I see the Indiana Pacers doing that? Me and you both felt like the Celtics not gonna win. I mean, the Knicks not gonna win. Celtics lost that series. Obviously the Knicks had to do a lot to win the series, but the Celtics more so lost that series. I know Tatum got hurt, had nothing to do with it, but like you said, they had 2 20-point leads in both games and crumbled in the clutch. When you just told me, I don't care how it went, Indiana's 5-0 in the clutch. I believe if Indiana get a 20-point lead, it's curtains how they play. And Indiana is efficient offense, and they up their defense in the playoffs. Now, New York Knicks is a great challenge for them. I mean, the New York Knicks, you look at the roster, the players, and all that stuff. They got Cat, they got McHale, they got Jalen Brunson. They got guys, you might say, oh, snap, the Knicks are better. But when you look at the complete team and you look at the coaches, Tibbs against Rick Carlisle, give me Rick Carlisle all day, any day. And then guys, look, I'm not wishing this upon nobody, but people say, like you said, OG was hurt. Are you surprised? I mean, the man running guys to the dirt. I'm sorry. If somebody, I'm not trying to put that on Front Street, but if somebody would have get hurt in the series, you can't be surprised because how the Pacers play, they run. They like you said about OKC, they constantly running. The Pacers gonna put pressure on you offensively and defensively, and you want to play 6 guys the whole game, unless Mitchell Robinson get into hack and shack type of situation, and you might throw I forget his name, Precious. I forgot his name. You might throw him in the game. But outside of that, you got 6 guys in rotation, 7 guys in rotation for real. So, yes, Mitchell Robinson didn't play. Yes, OG missed some games. I get it. I know this guy's not as, you might not be as good as OG, but he's a very important player for them. Ben Mathurin. Didn't play. He didn't play the whole playoffs last year. He was out the whole playoffs. And that's a key piece for them off the bench. So, Tyrese Halliburton's up in his game. Siakam, that was his first year with the Pacers. Like, he came midway through the season, so they're OG. But he came midway through the season. Now he got the whole season acclimated with the team. The Pacers look much better this year than last year. Like, last year, you look at like when they beat the Cavs, there's no way I'm looking at it as a fluke. They beat the Cavs. Darius Garland came back. He looked pretty healthy. When Evan Mobley came back, he looked pretty healthy. And they still lost. And they lost game 1 when Mobley was there. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I'm going with the Pacers in 6, man. I bumped my head too many times with them.
I might have to bump my head again. I might have to have a concussion. I might have to have a concussion. Like I might have to, depending on who come out the West. If they win, I'm probably not gonna pick them for the finals either. Just spoiler alert. I'm gonna have to have a concussion.
Hey, like I said last show, Halliburton, Shower Curtain, OKC, and probably 4. I'm just playing. I'm gonna say 5.
I'm about to say that'd be crazy.
They ain't winning this.
But this is what I'll say though before we move on to the next topic, Joe. Right. Yes, Boston went out there. They missed a lot of shots in that series against the New York Knicks. We get that to them. I mentioned the Pacers crunch time, right? Mm-hmm. They 5-0. I mentioned Brunson numbers in crunch time with 102 points up there with Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. I mean,
Crazy.
it's pretty ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
he up there
dog.
with some crazy names, some GOAT like names in that conversation. What I didn't mention is the Pacers are the Knicks are also 6-2 in games decided by crunch time this postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So they right there too. Like they are closing games as well. When you go up against a team like the Boston Celtics, the defending champions, yes, they missed a lot of shots, bro. But in this series, you can say the Pacers, man, they go up 20. I don't think they're gonna lose. You ain't gonna turn that TV off. Because you
Nah,
didn't see them come back on the defending champions 2-3 times in one series.
nah, facts.
2-3 times on Boston. Granted, they missed a lot of shots, but that was remarkable. They had to go take that game.
All
And
three?
and to me, it's different. To me, yes, the Celtics melted down, but they had whole halves to do so, right? Like it was
Yeah.
a whole half of a meltdown where the Knicks down 20, 25 points had to scratch and claw back. Even in the fourth quarter to start, you still down 10-13. You got to claw and scratch your way back. To me, it's different. I don't want to discredit them, but it's different than them two games I pointed out with the Pacers where you down 8-9 points with 40 seconds up and the team just, here you go. It just felt like the Bucks was like, here you go in the last couple minutes of the closeout game. Here you go to the Cavs in the last couple minutes of the game too. It's like, what are you, like, yeah, the Pacers took it in the last couple seconds, but like, what are y'all, a 99% chance to win and you lose the game?
Yeah, that was crazy.
What? Like,
Even
and
though-
it happened for them twice. I said this before about the Pacers, and I will say it again. You can beat the Pacers, but you got to be healthy because they got a lot of guys. They got a lot of guys that can score. They could put the ball in the hole. Credit to him. But they leave that door open. They leave that door open quite a bit. Them two games right there, that game 1 or game 3, they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, and then Dame tears his Achilles in game 4, and I thought he was going to have a good game that day. Because that was it. I thought that was going to be a Dame type of moment. I could be wrong. But if there was ever a time for him to have a moment in that series, it was that moment. We got robbed of that because he's tearing his Achilles. Maybe it's because he's getting up and down the court so much because of how the Pacers play. But at the end of the day, they leave that door open, and it's up to the right team to capitalize on those doors being open. And we've seen now with the Knicks, you leave that door open in the fourth quarter, it might be curtains for you messing with Jalen Brunson. Like, is it like
Nah,
it's
for real.
10-point lead? You might be in trouble messing with Brunson. He get hot, it might be a wrap. And so that's why I'm looking at it like, I respect the Pacers and what they have going on. I know it don't sound like that because I keep picking against them, but looking at this series and how I foresee it playing out, if Cat has the type of series I think he's going to have, that's going to be big though. If Cat don't show up, they don't have a shot against this Pacers team. But if he shows up and has the type of series that I think he's going to have, then Brunson and OG Bridges, they're going to be right there with him. They're going to be right there with him. Like I said, it's some teams. If OKC go up 20 on the Timberwolves, I might turn the game off right at this point. I can't say the same thing in this series for these Knicks,
Yeah.
man. They displayed a lot of heart, bro. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with it, man. I love it. Like I said, I think it's 7 games though. I think it's a tight series. I think both teams have their moments, but Game 7 in New York, and I don't see a healthy Brunson losing Game 7 in New York with a chance to get to the finals, bro. I think this is his time, bro. I think this is Brunson's time. Now, I said the same thing about them Nuggets, and thank God I didn't lose the house. Okay, thank God I didn't lose the crib. Okay, thank God I can record this from the bedroom right now. I ain't lose the crib, but hey, just want to say, I'm rolling with Brunson in the 7-game series.
Let's get it, man. I feel you. Well, I want to know how